Every month, thousands of Americans walk onto used car lots thinking they found the deal of a lifetime, a $120,000 luxury car for $18,000. Leather still smells new. Technology still works. They drive off feeling like a genius. 3 months later, they're staring at a $6,500 repair bill for a transmission that grenadated. The car is worth less than the repair. The dealer won't take it as trade-in, and they're stuck. But here's what nobody tells you. There are 3 luxury cars that lost 80% of their value, not because they're unreliable, but because wealthy owners got bored and moved on. These were built with blank check engineering budgets, and if you know the secret maintenance hack for each one, they'll outlast anything modern manufacturers build today. I'm about to show you engine codes, the exact years to buy, and the one maintenance item that separates a gold mine from a money pit. And number 1, it's powered by a hand-built AMG engine that was designed for 700 horsepower, costs less than a used Camry, and most people have no idea it even exists. Let's get into it. Look, I've worked on hundreds of these depreciated luxury cars. I know which ones will bankrupt you and which ones are legitimate steals. And what I'm about to show you isn't based on forum gossip or marketing hype. This is based on actual failure data, mechanic interviews, and real-world ownership costs. Some of these are legitimate gold mines. One is financial suicide even at dirt cheap prices. Let's start with the one that surprised me the most. Number 3, the Maserati Quattroporte. And I need you to pay close attention here, because this is the perfect example of how depreciation can fool you. When these were new, they started at $107,000. Fully loaded models, you're pushing $150,000. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. You can find 2017, 2018 Quattroportes right now, clean, low miles, for $22,000 to $28,000. That's 80% depreciation in less than 7 years. Same car, same Ferrari-derived V8 engine, same hand-stitched Italian leather. But here's the thing nobody tells you before you buy one. The Quattroporte has some of the worst reliability ratings of any luxury car sold in America. And I'm not exaggerating. Consumer Reports won't even rate it anymore because the data is that bad. The transmission, which is basically a Ferrari gearbox, costs $15,000 to replace when it fails. And it will fail. Not if, when. Most fail between 60,000 and 80,000 miles. I've talked to mechanics who refuse to work on these cars because they don't want the liability. But here's where it gets interesting. If you drive one, you'll understand why people bought them in the first place. That V8 sounds like angels singing opera. The interior feels like a private jet. And when you floor it, it pins you to the seat in ways a BMW never will.
So here's the maintenance hack that separates owners who survive from those who get destroyed. You need 3 things. First, a $5,000 emergency repair fund sitting in your account untouched. Second, a good independent Maserati specialist within 50 miles, not a dealer, a specialist who knows these cars. And third, the ability to laugh when something breaks, because it will break often. One owner told me he spent $8,000 in 2 years on random failures. Electrical gremlins, climate control died, parking sensors quit working, but he said, I'm still way ahead versus leasing a new BMW for $900 a month. Should you buy one? Only if you have those 3 things. If you're on a tight budget or you need reliability, run the other direction. But if you can handle the maintenance lottery, the Quattroporte at $25,000 is honestly one of the most car you can buy for the money. Just know what you're signing up for. Now, most people would stop here. They'd think Italian cars are too risky and give up. But what if I told you the British figured out how to build a luxury car that literally cannot rust, ever? That's next. Coming in at number 2, the Jaguar XJ. And I know what you're thinking right now. A Jaguar on a reliability list? Have you lost your mind? Hear me out, because this specific generation of Jaguar is different from anything that came before or after. And if you know the secret, it's one of the best depreciation deals in the entire used luxury market.
The 2016 to 2017 XJ was $76,000 to $92,000 new. Supercharged V8 models pushed past $100,000. Today, you can find clean examples for $15,000 to $20,000. That's Honda Accord money for a car that competed with the Mercedes S-Class. Why did it drop so hard? Jaguar's reputation. When people hear Jaguar, they immediately think unreliable, expensive repairs, British electrical nightmares. And to be honest, older Jaguars earned that reputation. But here's what changed. This generation of XJ uses an aluminum body that was developed specifically to eliminate rust. Not some marketing claim, real engineering innovation. While BMWs and Mercedes from 2016 are starting to develop rust on frames and subframes, the XJ looks factory fresh underneath. The supercharged V8 makes 470 horsepower and is actually pretty reliable for what it is. The bigger issue? The air suspension. It will fail. Not maybe, it will fail. Budget $2,000 to $3,000 to replace all four struts when they eventually go. But here's the hack. Find one where the previous owner already replaced the suspension. Problem solved. You just inherited a car that'll run for another 100,000 miles without major drama. I talked to an owner who's put 80,000 miles on his $18,000 XJ. He spent $3,200 on suspension repairs and about $1,200 on regular maintenance. Total cost, $4,400 in 3 years. That's less than 6 months of payments on a new luxury car.
The real question is, can you live with the badge stigma? Because when you tell people you drive a Jaguar, they immediately assume you're either wealthy or foolish. Nobody expects you bought it for used Camry money. Should you buy one? If you want a luxury car that feels special, sounds incredible, and costs less than a used Accord, the XJ is legitimately tempting. Just make sure you've got $2,000 to $3,000 set aside for that suspension. Find a good independent mechanic who knows these cars and accept that resale value is going to be non-existent. You're buying this to drive it until it dies. And honestly, at these prices, that's not a bad plan. But if you think that's a good deal, what I'm about to show you next is going to blow your mind. Because BMW built a 7 Series with a twin-turbo V8 that was designed for buyers who wanted the absolute best. And today, it costs less than a new economy car. All right, this is it. Number 1. And if you've made it this far, I promise you this is going to completely change how you think about depreciation. The BMW 750i with the twin-turbo V8. This was $97,000 to $110,000 new. Fully loaded M Sport packages pushed past $120,000. Today, you can find 2016, 2017 models for $20,000 to $25,000. Let that sink in for a second. A 6-figure BMW flagship for the price of a used Honda Civic.
Now, I know what you're thinking. If it's that cheap, something must be terribly wrong. And honestly, that's a fair assumption. But here's the thing most people miss. The 750i didn't drop in value because it's unreliable. It dropped because wealthy BMW buyers lease these for 3 years and move on. Depreciation is brutal on German luxury flagships. But the actual car? It's objectively excellent. That twin-turbo V8 makes 445 horsepower and is smooth, powerful, and refined. The interior is incredible. The technology is still impressive even today. This was the absolute best BMW made in 2016. The problem is complexity. This car has massaging seats, carbon fiber body panels, active suspension with 47 different sensors, gesture controls, and a twin-turbo V8 that requires premium fuel and gets 17 miles per gallon. But here's the maintenance hack that separates the survivors from the disasters. Avoid the air suspension. It's the single biggest failure point. Find a 750i with standard suspension or budget $2,500 to $3,000 to convert it to coilovers. Beyond that, the engine is solid. The transmission is proven. The chassis is BMW through and through. One owner told me he's put 60,000 miles on his $22,000 750i and spent about $3,500 total on maintenance and repairs. That's less than 1 year of lease payments on a new 3 Series.
Here's the pro-level buying strategy. Find one that's been maintained at a BMW dealer or a good independent specialist. Get a pre-purchase inspection, $150 to $200 non-negotiable, and budget $2,000 to $3,000 per year for maintenance. If you can handle all that, the 750i is genuinely one of the best automotive experiences you can buy for $25,000, period. You're getting a hand-built German V8, 6-figure luxury, and technology that still impresses today.